Oh, it was Ryder here to review the Kamen Revice DX Kangaroo Vistamp. So this was the DVD pack-in for the Revice Hyper Battle video. However, obviously as those tend to be really expensive and such as their DVD mail-aways, those are like $60 and such. Until randomly Premium Bandai and Television decided, hey, we're gonna put it out on Premium Bandai, and instead of getting the DVD, we're just gonna give you this book instead. To which it's like, yeah, okay, cool. So we're not gonna cover the book. Watch Opening the Devil Trigger from like months ago if you want a full page through. But basically, the book is just a summary of, so the first 26 pages are just a summary of just the events, the controversial events of this Hyper Battle video, and then the rest of it is really nostalgic for me, an entire history of the Hyper Battle videos and such, which I really do love overall, because especially for Phase 1 Heisei, the majority of those were my introduction to those writers. So, overall, it's a really neat book, but we're just going to ignore it. Just because the book is not important. We're just going to treat this like a traditional, how it was traditionally released. And how it was traditionally released, it was just in this bag, so let's just take it out. So this is the full box that this actually comes in. As you can see, it's in the traditional Premium Bandai box and such. However, you can tell it's more textualized, I guess, and more taped up. And I don't even know what this is supposed to be up here. I don't even know if these are supposed to be the instructions. They look like the instructions, which kind of sucks that they're just kind of plastered here, because why? So here we have the Vistamp out of its packaging and such, and obviously the big thing with Kangaroo is that it's in a color scheme that does not correlate with build, which I think is pretty creative. Because basically what they did with this, because this is the color scheme of the original, like, proto Kangaroo before it got purified, to which they just decided to keep it. But again, I like it overall. I like the clear green plastic, and then the bronze Kangaroo. I think it's really cool. And then, like, we got build in the back and such, obviously. The marbling is alright to the extent it's just basically in the back for the most part. The stamp has, again, a little bit of marbling, and I really do like this a lot. I like the simplified Kangaroo. QR code for gombarizing. Obviously, all of this is the same. Obviously, this is just a standard DX Vistamp, so I think it's a green LED or a white LED. I'm gonna go with white. Let's use all of our Revice stuff. Am I throwing them too hard? I don't remember them bouncing off the wall. Obviously, the Revice driver first. Jeez, I'm forgetting how to. So there we have the transmission for Revice Kangaroo Genome, which I like overall and such. Obviously, it's the, like, standard, like, I guess, like, boxing music you have. But I mean, like, I think they did a clever job of like incorporating the builds, build catchphrase in there and such. And again, I really like how the kangaroo came out and such. And like, you know, for everyone complaining about how, oh, this thing doesn't correlate with build, the build colors are on the actual form itself. Because they have to be in your face about it, because, you know, people cannot correlate things without colors. Also, I think the LED color is either green or yellow. I need to look at it again. But anyways. This looks yellow, which is pretty neat. Wow, it actually deactivated. Yabba doo doo. Kagero was a huge part of this because he was a gag. I don't remember if we did both modes. Honestly, I feel like this Vistamp would also really work with Evil and Alive. Sakura didn't get a form, she just used Kujaku. Yeah, that's definitely yellow. I'm curious what she would have gotten in this. Again, I think this would also work with her. Look at that Joey jumping on the bed. I'm always obviously fearful of this thing setting off whenever I use in the Demon's Driver, so I apologize. Come on, Joey, jump off the bed and bump your head. Well, that Joey went to the hospital. I guess we'll do axe mode. I apologize for not focusing. I think Vice is probably the only Joey that deserves to stay dead in the hospital. I know that was a bit too harsh. And then from this point, we have to do everything in one take, also because it's dying. The camera. Please don't tell me I have to activate the Vice Stamp again, but I'm probably have to. I found it how this was used, like, I don't know, because, like, I think after I finally saw the clip of them using this thing, and it was just weird. This should be obvious. Ooh. Again, I guess that was to the Joey. Anyways, yeah, I think this is a pretty fun Vice Stamp. Especially for a Hyper Battle video gimmick. It's pretty standard, and you know, it's a standard Vice Stamp. Like, that's basically it. There's not like anything like spectacular about it, like besides the color scheme. But other than that, like, I like this Vice Stamp. It's probably one of my favorite standalone Vice Stamps. Obviously, this one's just infamous just because of it being, or just how it was released, basically. And I'm really thankful that Premium Bandai and Televicon did come together just to, like, be like, hey, here's another way of getting this Vice Stamp if you didn't get it, if you didn't order it through Televicon site, or Televicon. Like, this is really cool, and it sucks they didn't do it again. Because, obviously, Geats is weird, because obviously the V-Buckle was initially not a Hyper Battle DVD form, but then it ended up becoming one. So obviously they had to do the Ultra version of the V-Buckle, to which that one's just the traditional, hey, you get this thing if you, like, buy through Televicon, which I kind of wish they didn't. I kind of would have preferred if that was just a standard pack-in, because the V-Buckle was. But I get it. They want money. Or they want to be able to buy the DVD. But, like, obviously that was the same case here. Which is why, like, stuff like the Kumofo bottle, Proto Boxo bike, I think those were the last few. Because 01 didn't do anything, or do any, because that ended up becoming a premium set. The Televicon Wonder Ride book actually became a pack-in item. So it was, yeah, technically it was kind of weird that, like, after so long since build, they went back into doing, hey, you get this thing if you buy the DVD. Like, I get it because it's a DX item. Like, it's understandable. Like, this I get. But honestly, for, like, you know, I think it's cool. Like, that it did end up becoming like a DVD pack-in item. But then there's this alternative, which I feel like is a better outcome, because you get a Mook with it. I showcase more of the Mook within the opening of this one. I think it wasn't opening the Devil Trigger, but because I forgot to actually. I don't remember if I said in the intro of this one that we were going to acknowledge that Mook or not. Because I didn't look that far. I just made sure if I actually did say, hello people, this is Ryder here, instead of Power Ryder. So then I didn't have to re-record that. And see if I actually read out the entire full title of the Hyper Battle DVD. To which I didn't. I just think, like, jeez. Oh. If you, basically, I recommend for you to just get the set with the Mook, as that's just more, I think it's gonna be more easier to obtain than just tracking this down through, like, by itself. This is luckily one of the cheaper ones. It's about $30. But like, this one's like on par, I think, with Condor, of like, you can at least find it. But other than that, like, yeah, it is kind of weird that this did get released through Premium Bandai, but I'm grateful of that. Just so then Bill didn't end up Bill at the end of the day didn't end up becoming like one of the weird, like, or not Bill, like Kangaroo didn't like end up becoming one of like the weird one-off like Vice stamps that are like extremely hard to get, because now basically the ones that are hard to get are Kiva and Saber, which is weird. And now I guess Kiva's now the new Agito. Battery exhaust. Basically, yeah, try to get this in an affordable price. Try to get this as cheap as you can in whatever condition you want it. Definitely weird covering this after Gifford Rex, but I mean, I think it makes sense because I'm covering these through their release through Premium Bandai. Or, I mean, for this one in particular, I'm covering when it was released through Premium Bandai because that's how I got it, but I'm pretty sure it got released before Gifford Rex. I'm dreading the next one.